Hi friends, Allison here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have another design and scrapbook layout process to share with you. If you're not interested in sticking around for the design process, definitely feel free to skip ahead to the scrapbook process. Otherwise, I will just take you very quickly through designing an upcoming layout. So I had this idea to create a giant heart on my background, my base basically, and I wanted it large enough that it would hang off the edges of the base and then that would eventually get trimmed off. I found this heart in my Cricut image library and I resized it to slightly larger, I think, than 12 by 12, or at the very least it's 12 inches. I also found a little photo frame, Polaroid, that's the word I was trying to think of, that had a little heart on it. I thought that was super cute and wanted to include that in the design of this layout as well. I have a hard time resizing the Polaroid frames that I find in the Cricut image library to the right size that I want. So I totally guesstimated here. I'm hoping it roughly measures 3 by 4 inches because that's mostly the size of photos that I scrapbook in. And then I decided to add just a little bit of leaves, foliage to the layout, and hearts as well. My plan for inside the giant heart is actually to back it with some stamping. I want to create a plaid background that'll go behind the heart in purple, and I'm also going to embellish with purple throughout the layout as well. My daughter in the picture that I'm going to be scrapbooking is wearing a plaid shirt that has purples and blacks in it, and so I'm trying to stick with that color scheme for this layout. I really like the pop of green though in the foliage, so I'm going to end up actually duplicating, you can see right now, the foliage and putting it in the top left hand of the heart. And then the striped heart that you saw that was just over to the right hand side of the layout is going to be added to the cluster there. And I ended up liking that so much, I ended up moving or duplicating another striped heart and putting it in the main cluster over the photo. And then there'll just be clusters of hearts in those 3 main areas to create my visual triangle. I actually took a little break in here and then came back to designing, and I'm so glad that I did, because when I came back I was inspired to maybe bring some gray into the layout. I didn't want to use black because it was such a bold and intense color. I didn't want it to overtake the layout. The purple is dark enough, it does that on its own already. So I thought, why not use gray? And that was the ticket. So all the hearts, or most of them at least, are going to be changed to gray. And it's at roughly this point, I think, that I decide to duplicate that striped heart and put it in the lower right hand of the heart as well. Of course, I'm just adding my date, something that I always do in my layouts. I added strips to the bottom left hand of the layout that you can see. That'll all be for my journaling. There's some hearts to more the center of the layout. And then I decided to add some more little strips. Those actually just signify phrase stickers that I'll be adding when I actually create this layout. This is my way of basically embellishing. Like I've said in the past, if you have watched my videos for a while, you know that I like to add everything in the designing stage of my layouts, so I know what direction I'm headed and where things are going to live when I actually get to the creating process. And now we have arrived to the scrapbook layout process. I decided to include some mixed media in this layout as well. I did that off camera and dried it before I got to assembling the layout together. I absolutely love all the foliage in this layout. The cut file, the birdcage cut file had some ivy entwined in it already, which I thought was super pretty. I just thought I would add another strip of leaves to the bottom of the birdcage to kind of help ground it. I decided to overlap the photo to one side of the birdcage. That's where the mixed media is. I did map my photo to some extra white cardstock as well, just to frame it a little bit, and I think it gives a perfect finishing touch to photos. I know I don't do that always, and when I don't, I actually feel like there's something missing. So more often than not, I will map my photos to paper of some sort. Generally, white cardstock. Every once in a while, it'll be something else, like maybe pattern paper or black cardstock or another color anyways. I did use some craft foam to pop the photo up, only because the birdcage was already adhered with foam squares, and I wanted the photo to be at the same height so that there wouldn't be an awkward bump halfway through the photo. So I made sure to leave enough space between the craft foam on the back side of the photo so that it could straddle the side of the birdcage. I'm just working on the title and a little cluster beside the title right now. The title is actually quite long. It's going to eventually read The Perfect Little Perch. So I just added perch right now, and I'm working on a little birdhouse that goes beside that with a cute little sun. And the title is actually going to be a mix of fonts, both die cut and actually alpha stickers that I've had in my stash for quite a while. So I'm just adding the die cut portions of the title right now. Most of the title is going to be die cut. The only portion of the title that'll be different is the word little. And in my original design, I had little in white text. And I thought about stamping the title. I didn't want to cut the word little because I think the font was too small. So I decided to do something a little bit different. I thought about stamping it and then wasn't really crazy about that idea and ended up pulling out my alpha stickers. You're going to see that actually in just a little bit here. I go through like 3 different sheets before I finally find a sticker that is big enough. All the ones that I wanted to use were too small. So I will get to that in just a minute though. Right now I'm putting together these adorable little birds. They are going to be adhered with a mixture of foam squares and liquid glue, just so they all stand at the same height as everything else does. And you saw me put a little speech bubble at the very top of the page beside the 2 birds at the top of the bird cage. I know it blends in, but I will eventually have the word chirp stamped on the speech bubbles. There's 3 of them, and they're going to be added to each of the embellishment clusters with the birds in them. I actually really struggle with the last one because it ends up being over part of the word perch and it hides the E in it, and I feel like it makes it kind of hard to read the title, but in order to make it work, it needed to go there. So that's what I did. So here you can see me playing with 3 different sticker sheets, trying to find the right alpha for the title. Both of these were way too small. The first one was a close to my heart Christmas sticker sheet, actually, and it had the word little in it on like a little phrase strip, which was perfect, and it was black, but it was so tiny it kind of got swallowed up by the rest of the title. So I put that back on and then tried another alpha, another sticker sheet that had alphas on it, and that one was too small. And then I came across this one, and I think this is a very old Echo Park sticker sheet. I'm gonna have to double check that, I will include links to current products that I have used in this layout, or if they're not current, just general like EcoPark places that you can find EcoPark to stock up on your favorite EcoPark goodies. So look for that down in the description box below. I added the word little, even though it's stickers, to foam squares so that it would be the same height as the bird cage, so that once again everything is the same level. So here I am stamping the word chirp. I used a Close to My Heart alpha stamp set. I think I used my teeny tiny type alpha stamp set for this, and I'm glad that I did because the word chirp just fit inside my speech bubbles. So if you recreate this layout yourself, hopefully you have a stamp set that is tiny enough, or even stickers, to stamp inside those. Otherwise, just disregard them and do something else instead. So now I'm playing with that last speech bubble. Like I said, I wasn't really sure where to put it because I didn't want it to hide too much of any of the letters in the word perch. But in the end, it covers up a lot of the letter E, and it is what it is. It's fine. I still love this layout. I just wish it didn't cover so much of that one letter. I'm just adding my journaling in the top left-hand corner of the layout. This layout is about Miss Ava and her cat tree. She often naps on her tree, or at this point she did. I've found recently she's more prone to nap in places that are a lot quieter and warmer. But at one point in time, this was her favorite place to curl up and have a little cat nap. It's right in our kitchen, right in the window, so it gets lots of sunshine during the day. And probably during the summer, that would be her favorite spot because it's nice and warm. I'm just adding the date. I stamped that with a roller date stamp that I've had in my stash for quite a while. I'm pretty sure it is a Recollections date stamp. So if you go have a little peek at Michael's, I'm pretty sure you would find one. I'm just trimming off an 1/8 of an inch on two sides of my layout, so it'll have a very tiny yellow border around it. I'm adding my white cardstock to this saffron cardstock from Close to My Heart. And this layout is pretty well done. Some of the finishing touches that I add to this layout before I finish the video is just taking a clear shimmer brush that I have ordered from Close to My Heart and adding some sparkle to the bird cage and also to the sun. And like I said, with that, this layout is complete. Thank you so much for joining me today. There are some close-ups and still shots coming up, so feel free to stick around for that. Otherwise, I hope to see you here again. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the little bell so you don't miss any videos that I post in the future. If you have already subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. I really appreciate you and having you here on my channel and along for this journey. Give this video a thumbs up and a like if you enjoyed it, and happy Friday. I will be back again soon with some more creative inspiration for you. Have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you again soon. Bye, guys.